When you receive your package, you'll receive 2 monitors, a computer, a power cable for the computer, 2 power cables for the monitors, 2 video cables for the monitors. You may have something different and we'll discuss that later. A mouse, a keyboard, and the internet cable. First thing you're going to do, you're going to connect the power cable to the computer. This is on the right side of the back of the computer, away from the connections. The other end, you want to connect it to the power cable, your extension, or the power in the wall. Now we'll connect the electricity cable to the monitor. On the back of the monitor, in the bottom on the left, you will see 3 metal pieces lines with a little squiggly line. That is the connection where we're going to connect the power cable all the way in, and then we're going to connect it to our electricity. In this case, I have a power strip right here. Now that we have both monitors connected to electricity and our computer connected to electricity, now we can begin with the rest. Now that we have connected our power cables to the computer and to the monitors, now we're going to connect the video cable from the computer to the monitors. So I'm going to start by connecting my video cable into the number 1. This number 1 port is going to be connected to my left monitor. This is the video cable we want to be using to connect to our computer to the monitors. So when you find the connection, you want to grab it and connect it to the number 1 port on the computer. I want to make sure it pushes all the way in to snug. The other end of the monitor cable may look like the same, or it may look a little different, and we'll be discussing that in the end of this video. So what we're going to do, we're going to connect this to our left monitor. Again, we're connecting our number 1 port to the left monitor. Okay, so on the back of the monitor, you want to connect it to where you see the label, almost with a D, is for display port. Right here, this is where you're going to be connecting the video cable. Now it is connected. We will be doing this the same for the next monitor, for the right monitor. Now we're going to connect the second port on the computer to this right monitor. So we're going to grab again our display cable, connect it to the number 2, and connect it to the right monitor. Now on the right monitor, you're going to connect the video cable just like we did with the left monitor. We're going to connect it right where it says DP, in this case, for this cable that we're using today. If you have any other video cables that were provided to you that do not look the same as what we have shown so far, don't worry. At the end of the video, we'll be showing how to connect a HDMI cable or a VGA cable, depending on what else you might have received. Now we will be connecting our keyboard and our mouse. So on the computer, right beside the video cables, you will see 2 USB ports. Where are they? It's right here in the bottom. You may have a stand that might see on your left side. In this case, we will be connecting right here. It can go at any of these ports. You can put the mouse and the keyboard. I will be connecting my keyboard to the first one. You have to make sure the opposite sides fit right in. There we go. Now I'll be connecting my mouse. Lift it up carefully. Look at the opposite direction and plug it in. You want to be careful with this. when you're connecting your other cables, you want to make sure that you don't accidentally pull one cable, for example, your power cord. Make sure everything's still intact. And then connect your Ethernet cable. Now that you have connected your computer, turn it on. You're done. Congratulations. These are the different types of cables you may receive when you receive your computer. These are the cable that we went over a moment ago. If you have a cable that looks like this, it has the same video connection we saw earlier, which is flat on one side. You will connect this to the computer and this to the monitor. Let's go ahead and do that. We will be connecting our video cables the same way we were doing earlier. We will connect our first DisplayPort cable into our number one, just like we did earlier. In this case, we have a different connection. In the monitors, this may be in a blue color. So let's look at the monitor. In the monitor, this is the VGA cable that is connected with this. You want to find the right connection, and once it's connected well, go ahead and tighten it. Make sure those all the way are twisted all the way in. And there we go. We will do the same thing with our other monitor. If the cable is not the same, don't worry, you can still connect it. Now we're going to be looking to the video cable. As you see, we have a HDMI cable on one end, and we have the computer looking cable in the other. This is going to go to the computer. This is going to be going into the monitor. It may be sent to you separately. This will become your adapter that brings it from your computer, the connection with the flat on one end, and the other end you will connect it to this cable. Just as we have connected the other video cables, we will be doing the same. We're going to be connecting our video cable with the flat side to the computer on number one. We're going to connect the other end of the cable to the monitor. Make sure that this adapter is well put in place. When you're connecting your adapter, you can connect either ends of the connection. It doesn't matter. You can connect either ends, if they're the same, into the adapter. Make sure it's well put in place. Now let's go to our monitor. We're connecting this to our left monitor. In our left monitor, here we have the HDMI connection. As you see, it looks very familiar from the left one and the right one. You want to make sure that you look at what you have and try to match the one you have. In this case, this cable is called an HDMI. Find HDMI and you can connect it to that port. All the way in. Let's go back to our cable by the computer and make sure that it's all tied up well. This is the last cable setup we'll be covering today. We have the DisplayPort entry for the computer and the VGA entry for the monitor. Notice that we have an adapter in this case. When you connect this, you want to connect them and you want to screw them so they don't fall out this easily. Put it right in and twist till it's evenly placed. We will be now connecting our cable into the computer just like we've done previously. We'll be connecting this display port cable going into the computer to number 1. Number 1 goes into the left monitor. Number 2 goes into the right monitor. Make sure your cable's well pushed in. Make sure it's tight. Be very careful that it's tight. Now we're gonna go to our monitor. In the monitor, we're gonna be looking for the VGA input. It may not always say VGA, but you'll see a symbol that shows, like on the monitor, little screen. There's a screen right here. That's how you know for sure that that's the connection where you're gonna be connecting to. Push it in and twist. That's it. You will be doing this with the other cable. If the other cable looks different, it's okay. You can have 2 different types of cables, the same way as you can have 2 of the same cables connected to one computer.